Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So we got this from Ali Chart. Social sentiment around Bitcoin dropped to its lowest level in years following Friday's flash crash. Eventually it was up, guys, but now Bitcoin price is down again. Bill Morgan just commenting on this. That's a lot of offloading. As you guys can see, the Bitcoin price did start to rally again over Sunday and even into Monday. But now, guys, we are seeing Bitcoin price cratering yet again. So what we're seeing now, Bitcoin testing these lows. I mean, we thought it was all fine and good when Bitcoin was climbing back up to about $116,000. That's just the beginning of the correction. As you guys can see, we are wicking up. So there is now a long wick on this Bitcoin candlestick, the 1 hour candlestick. If I throw that on the 5 minute, you guys can see we are now forming a base in here. So we got to see what Bitcoin does next. Currently, one Bitcoin is trading in and around $110,700 per coin. So we did see this whale sell off on Friday. It rebounded, but now, guys, going back down. I think it's just testing those new lows, though. Take a look at the XRP chart, though. Egg Crypto posting this. XRP chart and data distortion? The below post is created to find the best chart to use for long-term view of XRP from now on. So far, we've seen distortions in the data, and I want to keep things clear without too many conflicting numbers. So this is a good way to look at it. I mean, to get a better sense of the crypto market or any particular cryptocurrency, in this case XRP, it is good to look at the charts on all different kinds of time frames. So we're going to get back to that chart in a second. He says here, from now on, I'll only use the crypto data set for XRP. This average includes all major exchanges and gives us a better overall picture. Okay, so not just one particular crypto exchange, but uses the major ones and aggregates all the data based on that. It goes on to say, based on the recent market manipulation, the low for XRP was $1.40, and that will be my baseline moving forward. I won't be using data from Binance, Bitstamp, Poloniex, or Coinbase until further notice. So guys, one of the things he's noticing here, and this is a big one, okay, the monthly, okay, and this is on the Poloniex chart, the monthly, we are staying above that former monthly close from all the way back in 2018. So when zooming way out here, even though we are seeing extreme volatility, the chart structure actually looks pretty good from a monthly time frame here. Let me see if I can find the Poloniex chart. There it is, Poloniex, XRP to US dollar, and I'm going to throw that on the monthly, and going to see if we can see that same kind of trend here. Wow, look at that wick down back in 2023. That does not look healthy. Okay, let's take a look at the monthly chart here. Let's put a horizontal line on here, and as you guys can see on the Poloniex chart specifically for XRP on the monthly time frame, XRP holding its own, okay, staying above that monthly close since December of 2024. It's almost been an entire year since XRP has been staying above that monthly close. So taking a look at that on the monthly, that's good news. And even today, even though we did see that downside for XRP in October, we are still far above that monthly close. The monthly close being $1.90. 798, give or take, essentially the top of the range here that we saw back in April of 2021 when XRP did reach its localized high back in 2021. Well, guys, we're staying above that range there for XRP specifically, so I wouldn't worry too much. I mean, the range here. Let's bring back the original XRP chart on Bitstamp, and just going to show you guys what I'm seeing here. Throwing it on the hourly and throwing that back on auto, you guys can see trend now invalidated. We were moving up. Now we're crossing the trend line. Of course, Bitcoin is doing the same thing. So it's just a bit of a wait and see game. Bitcoin retesting these levels. Hopefully XRP can do the same, but guys, I'm feeling very, very confident. If you guys are interested in what I'm doing for this particular bull run, you can follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. This is where I'm opening it up, letting all my Patreon subscribers know where I'm going to be cashing out. So I talk about price targets over there and some other things. And the price is only $5 a month, but you got to subscribe and stay subscribed to lock into that price. Market cap right now, guys, down by a little bit, 4.27%. So we're seeing the crypto market cap cratering once again. Fear and greed is at 42. So this is the the roller coaster of emotion that many crypto traders experience during parts of the cycle. I guess it can happen at all times during the cycle. We're seeing Bitcoin is down by 3.38%. Ethereum's down by 4.7%. We got BNB coin now down 9.31%. XRP is down 5.79%. There's altcoin, everything's taken a hit today. I wouldn't necessarily consider a particular coin any better to to focus on than others. I mean, we still are trading in a spec market, so this just generally demonstrates that. Gonna keep moving along because we do have some good news. Peter Brandt, and I did talk about him in yesterday's video. If you guys didn't catch yesterday's video, I will link it up here. He posted another post early this morning. As a student of classical charting principles and history, has there never been a pure long-term chart? So he's talking about the XRP chart, and he's calling it pure long-term. Again, when we go back to that XRP chart, and I am going to bring it up on Poloniex once again, and I'm going to throw that again on the monthly. Guys, that trend is looking marvelous. The monthly closes above former closes that we set back in December of 2017 and January of 2018, respectively. So we cannot get better than this, guys. I think at this point, we're just all now waiting for that final pop, the final blow off top. So I wanted to thank Peter Brand, Zafe Crypto, Greg Crypto here, Bill Morgan, and who was it here? Ali Charts, just for posting that. Stock Money Lizards also commenting on the most recent activity that we've seen on the Bitcoin chart. After the dump, fear is now back. So we are seeing that fear coming back, and it's because this Bitcoin trend is it's trending back down. I mean, right now, as of the time of this recording, we are seeing a bit of a bump. We did see that wick, and now as of this particular hour, we are seeing Bitcoin rising once again. So 110,007 is now at 111.1, give or take. So we are finding support down in this level here. Stock Money Lizards correctly identifying that yesterday was bullish, and after the retest today, Bitcoin sentiment seems to have flipped again. So wishy-washy. Again, like I say, a roller coaster ride. In reality, the market is following a classic structure though. So guys, don't overanalyze it. So we're seeing overextension, supply, and then demand. The current key support levels, he says, is $98,000 to $102,000 for BTC. Those are demand zones, guys. We are seeing that here. Former supply equals new demand, or former resistance equals new support, however you want to look at it. They mean the same thing. They're interchangeable. And so what he's saying is that we could dip down even lower. I mean, hopefully we can get this over with as quickly as possible. But what he's looking at here are these levels down in here. So that's 98,000. That's the low down in there. And he's saying at the upper end, it's $102,000 per coin. So that would be somewhere in there. Okay, tops of bodies, bottoms of wicks. And that would be the level where we could still retest before this big move to the upside. And again, 15 to 20% corrections, even at this point in the cycle, are not unheard of. Just going to bring up the price range tool. Where would that bring us? So that would be 20%, 20, 21%, 22%, give or take. But guys, the range is there. The wick on the chart was there from back in June. So there we have it. Hopefully we don't get down that low. That would completely decimate altcoins. Anyway, don't want to think about that. The Kobesi letter, guys, posting this. So macroeconomic narrative, absolute insanity. Gold has now officially added $10 trillion to the market cap in just 12 months. That is a massive 55% increase. Let's look at gold now for a second. Gold has been on a tear, guys. Gold insanity. XAU, sorry, I didn't type that in right. XAU USD. This is gold on the daily. Let me throw that on the hourly. You guys can see I've been putting price markers on here as we've been moving up. And as you guys can see, gold making a brand new all-time high just a few hours ago, and that would have been right in here. Wow, $4,179 per ounce. It has defied essentially every single headline, even as the S&P 500 erased $2.5 trillion in 5 hours. So gold has reached this point where the technicals seem to be irrelevant. We are in uncharted territory. Kobesi letter talking about some more metrics here. Gold's monthly RSI just hit 91.5, making it the most overbought since 1980. Yet gold prices are up another $110 per ounce. And so they're giving some statistics here. Not even 2001, 2008, or 2020 saw a reading of $90+. As you guys can see here, for a while, it was all about the declining US dollar. But take a look at this. Even as the US dollar has rebounded nearly 2% since October, gold's prices are up 5%. So generally speaking, what we see is because gold is denominated in US dollars, we see as dollar price goes down, price of gold goes up. So why is this happening? Well, guys, central banks are loading up on gold at levels never seen before in history. So it's just the demand for gold that's bringing gold prices up. World central banks bought another 15 tons of gold in August. This marks the 27th monthly purchase over the last 28 months. Central banks know what is coming next. Also, take a look at China. China's gold holdings are up from 1% to 6.5% of reserves since 2015, while the U.S. Treasury holdings have halved from 44% to 22%. And these central banks are not concerned about the technical backdrop whatsoever. They are much more forward-looking. What's even more crazy is when you zoom out, amid the record buying, global official reserve assets in gold have risen towards 25%. The USD has gone from about 55% down to about 40%, but this is barely starting to make a dent in the below chart. Gold reserves can go much higher. And we are seeing this now, guys. Gold prices adjusted for U.S. monetary supply are breaking out of a 50-plus year downtrend. And when you adjust gold prices for U.S. money supply, the 1970s peak was 4 times higher. When you zoom out, it begins looking like we are still early here. The other question, why are central banks loading up on gold? Well, there's a lot of reasons for that. Inflation, the end of U.S. dollar dominance, the ushering in of cryptocurrency, a new financial system, the Great Reset. However you want to put it, Kobasi letter also goes into silver. I'm not going to read this full thread. There's only a couple more posts here, but I will link it in the description for you guys. I just wanted to give you guys a taste of what's going on globally. And then we have those crypto ETFs, guys. Michael Branch posting this. Eric Balchunas has been commenting on the crypto ETFs. They're on track to surpass, at least in his opinion, to surpass $1 trillion in assets this week, fueled by $30 billion in weekly ETF inflows. October 2025 has already set a record for ETF inflows of $180 billion, a monthly figure that would break historical records if measured on a calendar basis. Analysts note that these inflows signal more than just money movement. They reflect a major shift in investor behavior towards passive investment strategies. So investors are getting confident getting into crypto through these ETF products. I guess they figure, since they are the regulated version of the crypto, they can, hand the money over to their advisor, and their advisor will get them some exposure to cryptocurrencies. Record ETF inflows show in October 25 a shift from management to algorithm-driven ETFs. Says down here, both retail and institutional investors are increasingly delegating decisions to algorithm-driven ETFs, creating a feedback loop where inflows push prices higher, attracting even more capital. So this is becoming circular. Talks about BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF redemptions, and then a few other comments down here. So it looks as though what is now available on the market today is getting that exposure. Wanted to thank Michael Branch for posting that. Another one here from Michael, guys. Ripple is turning hackers into heroes. So pivoting just a little bit to Ripple, okay, they just launched a $200,000 attack-a-thon to test the XRPL in terms of security. So when we're thinking about the real-world utility of these crypto assets, Ripple is continuing to do their part to secure the XRP ledger. Ripple is turning hackers into heroes. The blockchain company behind XRP has launched a $200,000 attack-a-thon. So this is essentially to get hackers to look into possible problems with the XRPL and I guess fix them accordingly. The XRPL lending protocol marks a new chapter for Ripple's ecosystem. Unlike traditional DeFi lending, which relies on smart contracts or collateral, the XRPL introduces off-chain credit checks, letting institutions use their own risk system while keeping transactions transparent and on-chain. So they want to see how secure the XRPL is. Security through transparency is how trust is built. Ripple engineers do explain, we'd rather fix vulnerabilities now than after institutions start using it. So it looks as though they're getting the XRPL institution ready and they're not hiding it. The attack-a-thon runs from October 27th to November the 29th. Okay, and there's an education period starting October the 13th, which was yesterday. If you guys are watching this video on the day that I'm releasing it, gives you guys some more details about developed in C++ programming. I don't know if you guys care about that. So it's a $200,000 pool that is paid out. And I guess if they don't find anything, there still is a fallback pool of about $30,000, a clever way to reward deep, honest research over surface level findings. So that is now Ripple's goal, getting hackers to look at the XRP ledger, find vulnerabilities, make sure that it is institution ready before the institutions really begin to use it. Guys, this just shows you how big Ripple expects the XRP ledger to get. They're not leaving anything up to chance. Charles Hoskinson also commented on the $20 trillion real-world asset market. He also says $100 trillion are going to be tokenized in global markets. Listen to this.
There are $20 trillion of real-world assets that are waiting to enter the cryptocurrency space. There's $100 trillion of global markets that the cryptocurrency space can expand to, and cryptocurrencies will enter mainstream consumers' everyday lives, and all Fortune 500 companies will adopt them. That is the reward for cooperation. That is the reward for objectivity, and that's the reward for fairness in the rulemaking that comes forward. Every single leader in this industry has to recognize that and realize that this is a very rare moment where we get that reset. And if we act with humility and we act with unity, that reset will happen quickly, and we will be able to get a very significant package of bills passed during the next 2 years. As these conversations are ongoing, I won't comment any more on them, and we'll just wait for the transition to do its process. And I look forward to seeing the specific ethics requirements, and I look forward to seeing the other things that come to play, and also understanding what the balance is between the legislative branch and the cooperation there and the executive branch of the United States, because it's still unclear how those two components are going to come together and how this policy is going to come together. Much more will be clear in the next 60 to 90 days, and I will be traveling to Washington, D.C. on a pretty regular basis throughout all of 2025. And as I mentioned, the sole goal of our policy office will be to make sure laws get passed that give our industry clarity and fairness.
So it's nearing the end of 2025 now, and we are getting very close. Unfortunately, we are in the middle of a government shutdown, but guys, it's not changing what's going to be happening in the near future. Trump's Treasury Chief, Besant, he says we're going big on digital assets and crypto. A more recent clip here. Listen to this.
We are going big on digital assets. So Trump administration has made digital assets a priority. Past administration starved and almost made extinct a lot of these companies and pushed it offshore. So what we want to do is apply the highest U.S. regulatory and AML standards to digital assets.
So we know they're going big on digital assets. We know the estimation is 20 trillion in RWAs, but guys, it's a $100 trillion market, so 5 times larger than that. We've got the hackathon getting the XRPL institution ready, and the ETFs are about to come out too. Wrath of Kahneman commenting on this. Why do we have ETFs? Is there another reason rather than just getting retail and institutions exposure to cryptocurrency products? Well, Wrath of Kahneman came up with a theory here. Volume is what has been traded, okay? The depth is what can be traded without moving the price. For XRP to be used at scale, depth is more important than volume. So an interesting concept here. We need XRP used at scale, and so depth is more important than volume. This is why we have the ETFs, and he's going to explain why here. Commonly measured at 1% depth, this April report by Keiko Market Explorer is encouraging. So we have altcoins here, 1% market depth, but you guys can see XRP is at the top of the list, followed by Solana, then I think it's ADA, Litecoin, then AVAX, then DOT, and then Link down at the bottom. But guys, XRP has the most market depth. He goes on to say, note that if the ETF physically holds XRP, more than just initial purchases to set up the funds, it's the ongoing creation and redemption of the shares as institutional buy and sells that can improve market depth. So XRP, again, being the number one here, followed by Solana. So I'm seeing a trend here. XRP, Solana, number 1 and 2. He says that's going to improve market depth. This reduces slippage, stabilizing the price. So guys, XRP could get up to that high, stable price if more institutional demand is driven to these ETFs. At least that's what Wrath of Kahneman's theory is here, his hypothesis. So this will be seen in the 1% market depth on exchanges. In April, both XRP and Solana have the highest average 1% market depth on Keiko indice-vetted exchanges. So market depth has been building. And for those of you guys who just want a bit of an overview here, a bit of a definition, market depth is a measure of a security's liquidity, showing the number of buy and sell orders at various price levels in an order book. It indicates how much a security can be bought or sold without significantly impacting the price. So a deeper market has more buyers and sellers, allowing large trades to occur with less price volatility, while a shallow market is more prone to large price swings from one single order. So guys, could it be about the market depth? Could this be the reason why Ripple is so keen on getting these ETFs up and running? And we've got so many in the hopper right now. What is it? Upwards of 20 or so ready for approval? A very interesting theory here. If we do have more market depth for XRP, that could eventually lead to XRP price rising high and staying steady, keeping it where we need it to be in order to perform these real-world utility tasks. I don't know. That's just a thought. But for more opinions on where I think this market's going to go right now, you guys can follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. We're talking in the future. But right now, guys, we have to trade in the current market that we're in. So follow me. It's only $5 a month. If you're interested in that, maybe you guys are interested in purchasing some Working Money Channel merch. Well, you guys can mosey on down to the Working Money Channel merch store. I've got all kinds of fun things here. Link is in the description of the video. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.